Howdy folks, welcome to the PNW Vibe YouTube channel where we do all sorts of weird stuff like woodworking, building freaking shop furniture, working on cars, and right now we got a trailer. For a while now I've been hunting for a cheap trailer, something I can, ideally like an old boat trailer or something like that I could take all the boat equipment off of and put a flat deck onto. Something that I could use as like a utility trailer. So I managed to get my hands on this one for free. All it cost me was a case of beer. One man's trash is another man's treasure, baby. So I got all these boat roll-up wheelie things taken off. So I'm left right here with these crossbars that tilt in the middle, and they're actually set below the level of the deck here. So this whole entire trailer is held together with U-bolts and nuts. So we're gonna take these bars out, cut them down to size, and weld them into place. And I brought my brother over here to do that. So we'll literally just go around and unbolt all these crossbars because that's all that's holding them in. You want to make sure you're using the right tool for the job. That's what I always say.
You don't need to clean it too much because I'm using 6011, so it's going to kind of eat up all the paint anyways. I'm just doing this so I don't have to breathe that shit in as much. Also makes it easier to strike an arc.
Alright, got this front crossbar all welded up. Time to take this back guy off. Watch your feet. Beautiful.
Beautiful. You want to set this one as like a bumper?
Yeah, I'll put it all the way on the back. All the way up against the back. Hey Terry! Alrighty, so last night we were able to get these crossbars welded into place nice and flush with this deck. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with these U-bolts. I'll end up cutting most of these off, but those ones up there with the axles, I mean, that's literally what's holding on this entire axle, so I'll probably have to figure out, I'll probably just have to notch a board out a little bit for the deck on here just to clear that. To clear those U-bolts, so that won't be too big of a deal, just notch a board out. Anyway, we ended up getting these flat bars all welded in, and my brother mentioned he builds trailers, so he kind of, I mean, I assume he knows what he's talking about a little more than I do, but he said that typically on tilt beds especially, they will put a round tube directly in line with the axle. So I had a piece of galvanized round tube right here, and I went ahead and ground off the galvanized coating on the end there, and I cleaned up some spots right here, so I can just zap that in with my wire feed. So this is already cut down to side. Let's go ahead and get this tacked into place. I'm also gonna keep it nice and flush with this, with the whole top surface here so that my boards can rest on it. I'm not necessarily gonna screw the boards down into this, but I do want this to support the boards. It ain't the prettiest thing you ever did see, but she's welded in there and she ain't going nowhere. So one more thing I wanted to hit, well, I got the welder all dialed in, is this right here. I mean, like I said, this entire trailer is held together with bolts. So I want to go ahead and put a nice bead right there. And I'm thinking about doing a plate over top of this tongue right here, maybe on the top and on the bottom there, just for a little extra support, because that's silly. All right, so I got a nice little piece of angle iron cut right here. We'll just go ahead and zap that right into place. All right, next order of business, we got to get a deck on this thing. Now realize this is a free trailer, only cost me a rack of Coors Light. So we're gonna keep this deck as cheap as possible. Now I know pressure treated wood would be the way to go, but I don't want to pay for pressure treated wood. So come on around here, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use as much as I can of wood that I already have, and then if I have to make a run down to Home Depot to grab a couple more boards, that's what I'll do. So let's go ahead and pull these out so we can use them on our bench. It's a funny looking bug, huh? All right.
Wait.
That's enough nature. All right, let's see how far this gets us. I had a couple boards that I pulled off of that table. Some of them weren't very good. Some of them were in okay shape, but I am gonna have to run down to Home Depot and get new boards for the majority of them. So let me go do just that. The other thing that I need to grab is some kind of a lighting system. Alrighty, folks, we are back from Home Depot. Got a total of 5 2x8s and 2 2x10s, and it's just a tad too wide, so I'm gonna need to rip this one down to 5.5 inches, and that's okay, because as you can see, this is the most bent board of all of them. So putting a straight edge on that board will overall make this thing look a lot cleaner. This one was pretty darn straight, and as you can see, I notched it out for those U-bolts. All right, I got the deck all laid out the way I like it. I put a couple extra boards there going across that way. I don't know, just add a little, you know, couple extra feet. Anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm going through and I'm taking these U-bolts and I'm just mounting them on the side there for some hookup points for ratchet straps. So I'll just, I'll take another one and put one right here. towards the front, and then at some point I'll take that tire off and grind down the paint and put one right there in line with the axle. So we'll go ahead and zap a couple more of these things on here. So the last thing we need to do to make this trailer a trailer is affix some lights to it. Now I went to Harbor Freight and found this set of LED magnetic trailer lights, and it's just a universal kit. It's got like 20 feet of line on it. So I'm gonna run that through the frame rail with this tube that I have run through the frame rail already. I fed this through this end, pull it out the other end, and what I'll do, so I'll just clip this connector off and I'll tape this wire to that orange hose and pull it through the frame rail, so that way this wire isn't just dangling around. I don't have to waste any zip ties on this wire right here, this whole mess of wires. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then we'll taper up to this piece of hose here. Then I'll have someone feed it through up there, and I'll just pull it through over here. I got it. Okay, now we got to go in through this hole, all the way through the frame rail, and coming out the other end. Perfect. Now I'll just splice the connector back onto that end. And I'll get my little lights magneted right into place. I'll probably throw a zip tie around that or something. Alrighty folks, this trailer is pretty much done. We got one last order of business here, but first let's take a quick look at it. So we got about a 10-foot long deck. It's about 5 feet wide, and it's nothing special, but it's a functional flatbed utility trailer. So eventually I may put sides on it, but right now, the last thing I want to do in this video is go ahead and mount this jack on there, because I'm sick and tired of picking that thing up and putting it on a 5-gallon bucket. I mean, trailer needs jack. So we went down to Harbor Freight and picked up one of these weld-on ones. I believe they're actually all weld-on, I'm not sure, but I'm going to find a nice little spot where it clears and won't hit anything as it swings. And it looks like this might be the spot. And of course, we got to make sure there's clearance for the jack handles to swing around, which it looks like there is plenty of. So right here is going to be the spot. I'm just going to grind off some of that paint and get myself a nice clean spot to weld to, and we'll zap that on real quick. Squared up. Looks pretty good like that. And I'll just leave the pin in there while I'm doing this. So I got the pin in there, and I'll just tack this cylinder into place, and then I'll take the pin out and weld it the rest of the way around. That way I know that it's gonna, when I rotate it, it'll be at a perfect 90, and this way it, makes it a lot easier for me to square it up. Alrighty folks, projects like this are never quite finished up. Like I said before, I plan on putting some sides on this at some point, and I'll probably do a couple other things to it, but right now we're only $130 into this boat trailer. Well, if you count the rack of beer, we're about 170 bucks in, but still we're less than $200 in to turn this boat trailer that I pretty much got for free into a working, usable utility trailer. Like I said, it could still use some sides. I could spend today prepping the surface and put a coat of black paint on it, and that would make this thing really look a heck of a lot better. So for now, folks, thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Head on over to my channel and check out some of my other videos. All right, thanks, y'all. We'll see you in the next one.